Hey, it's Harley here at Big Deeds, our new channel where we rap about how to become happier, healthier, stronger, smarter, better, faster, focused, calm, confident, motivated. All right, today we're going to talk about Wim Hof, the Iceman.
Right on. Fully in. Letting go. Not fully out, just letting go. But fully in.
Hof. Wim Hof, also known as the Dutch Iceman. He has 26 Guinness World Records. Most all of them are related to extreme cold exposure. The man is able to go into the cold and his body heats himself and he does not feel the cold, and he's able to go into extreme temperatures and accomplish extraordinary feats without experiencing frostbite and hypothermia. Some of his records are rather incredible. For example, Wim Hof climbed Mount Everest in just only shorts and shoes. I'm sure he also probably wore some underwear and some socks, but we don't have all the information on that. He also did over an hour and 53 minutes in an ice bath for a Guinness World Record. He also hung from one finger from a hot air balloon for record time, 2 kilometers above the surface of the earth. He also ran a marathon in the Arctic Circle in just only shoes and shorts. And he ran a half marathon in the Arctic Circle in shorts, but this time barefoot, no shoes. So just only shorts and maybe some undie-wundies. Now, this Wim Hof method can even work for heat. Evidence of this can be seen in another one of Wim Hof's feats where he did a marathon in the Niobe Desert without drinking any pure water before or after. All he had was 2 cups of coffee beforehand, and he had no water during his marathon in the Niobe Desert, and he was able to accomplish that. His method has also been seen to help people with many different diseases. It has great effect on preventing inflammation, and especially from the E. coli bacteria. Actually, he was injected in a scientific study with the E. coli bacteria. And, not the entire E. coli bacteria, but an endotoxin from the E. coli bacteria. And it went into his blood, and normally this causes an extreme inflammatory immune response within the body. However, when he did his injection, or the doctor administered the injection to him, due to his Wim Hof method, he did not experience the endotoxemia that is involved. Within a quarter of an hour, he was able to suppress the symptoms. But his big thing is anybody can do this. So they did a controlled scientific study, because at first they were just like, oh, well, you're just a freak of nature. You're the Iceman. Of course you'll be able to do this. So he got 12 people that he trained for 10 days, and they all did the Wim Hof method. And when they did the Wim Hof method and also got injected with the endotoxin from the E. coli bacteria, they were able to also suppress their symptoms within 15 minutes and not experience that endotoxemia. However, the control group, I'm sorry, but I would not want to be in the control group, because they got sick for hours. They got fever-like symptoms. So that was to prove that anybody could do it in a scientific study. So Wim Hof his method is so impressive that they had to change a chapter in a medical textbook. When you do the Wim Hof method, it involves many different things. It involves breathing, it involves meditation, focus, mindset, stretching, and also cold exposure. It is taken from the Tumo meditation and other esoteric disciplines, but all combined in a very special Wim Hof method. It releases many different hormones and neurotransmitters in the brain to allow yourself to be able to do the extreme feats that Wim Hof is able to do. Some of these things that it releases are norepinephrine, adrenaline, also known as epinephrine, cortisol, endocannabinoids, which is your body's own analogs to the cannabinoids. It also releases endorphins, which is your body's own endogenous analog to the opiates. So all of these come from your own brain, and has even been seen to release what's known as DMT or dimethyltryptamine, that which is located in the brain. All of these surge out and cause your body to have the energy to, and also resist the pain in order to do these extreme cold feats. Okay, so we will next show you the breathing method. The breathing method is where you breathe fully in, all the way full of air, your stomach full of air, and then you just let go and release that air. Now you want to do that 30 times. You can even do it up to 40 times. And on the very last time that you do it, and you do it to a certain pace, it has to be a rather rhythmic pace. After the last breath, the 30 or 40th breath, you let go fully air out of your lungs completely. Now, you will then hold the air out of your lungs for about 2 minutes. You could go 1.5 to 2, maybe even over 2 minutes if you are so inclined. It'll depend on your own physiology. This is with air out of the lungs. You will be able to hold your breath during this time for longer than you normally would. The reason why you're able to hold your breath out for longer is because during the 30 to 40 breaths, you are getting rid of your carbon dioxide, which is contained in your blood. This is called controlled hyperventilation. You're getting rid of that carbon dioxide. What does this do? Well, carbon dioxide is acidic when it is in your blood. So you're getting rid of something that is acidic. This is going to alter the pH balance in your blood. It's going to make your blood more alkaline. When your blood is more alkaline, it actually is able, in an alkaline environment, it actually disables cold receptors. The proteins that make up a certain cold receptor that responds in extreme cold environments is made up of 3 proteins. And these proteins denature in an alkaline environment. And then your body is not experiencing that cold to the same degree. But also, during your breath hold, you're able to hold your breath for longer. Why are you able to hold your breath for longer? Because you don't have CO2. Your body feels the need to breathe due to an increased carbon dioxide level, and not due primarily because of a decreased oxygen level. So, eventually, a decreased oxygen level will cause your body to desire more air. But that is not the first indication that you need to breathe. The first indication is the elevation of carbon dioxide in your blood. So, with no carbon dioxide in your blood, due to the controlled hyperventilation that I explained to you earlier, you are starting from a very little carbon dioxide in the blood. When you start your breath hold and you start to build up that carbon dioxide because you're not getting it out of your system because you're not breathing, at that point, your carbon dioxide starts to build. But it starts from a lower threshold, whereas before you start from a normal physiological range. After controlled hyperventilation, you had decreased that carbon dioxide, and therefore you will not need to breathe, or you will not feel the urge to breathe until later, until that carbon dioxide has started to build up and reaches the threshold at which it causes a physiological response to make you want to gasp for air. This extended breath hold causes your oxygen levels, which after the controlled hyperventilation have been elevated ever so slightly because you're trying to saturate your blood with as much oxygen as possible. The oxygen is able to come down to a much longer degree, and eventually it gets down so low that it starts to stimulate the hormones and neurotransmitters that I described earlier, the ones that help you to deal with the cold. So, the neurotransmitters, norepinephrine, epinephrine, cortisol, the endocannabinoids, the endorphins, all cause you to be able to resist the pain, and they are released during the time of low oxygen. Okay, so to end this video off, in our next video, we will describe the full Wim Hof breathing method. As I described before, it consists of 30 to 40 deep breaths, fully in, and then just letting go. And on the last breath, you release fully all the oxygen out of your lungs, all the air out of your lungs, and you hold for 1.5 to 2 minutes. Or even longer than 2 minutes. You go until you feel a strong desire to breathe. Then you do this. Then you do this breath hold with no air in the lungs until you feel the need to breathe. And then at that point, after you feel that urge or a certain amount of time has passed, you breathe in fully. Breathe in your belly, in your chest, in your head. You feel the air filling up, and then you squeeze the air in, and you hold it for, let's say, 10 to 15 seconds. This all comes to one round. The 30 to 40 breaths, the breath hold, and then the final inhale, the strong inhale and the squeeze. That is all one round. You're going to do 3 to 4 rounds, and then you're going to go do your cold exposure. There are many videos out online that go into more about the Wim Hof method, but I wanted to give you a little taste of this next. In our next video, we will, in the continuation of this video, I will be doing the Wim Hof method in front of the camera for you to see. And then I will go out into the cold. Thank you very much. Please, not to be cliche, but like and subscribe. Please go out there and do the most deeds. Please go out there and be nice to people, as the guy from the Midwestern Method, shout out to you. The Midwestern Method is a great one. He always says, go out there and be nice to people. Go and be the best version of yourself. That's what we're all about here at Big Deeds. Being the best version of yourself. Go out there and spread the fire. Go out there and biohack your physiology and become the best man or best woman that you can be. Thank you very much and have a great day. Goodbye.